Hello, Steeler Nation. Hello, Pittsburgh Steeler fans. And welcome to the latest episode of the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your co host, Owen, and we finally made it, haven't we? It's Thursday, the 28th of April, and we have made it to draft day. Guys, it's Christmas. Well, that's what it feels like for an NFL fan, doesn't it? We're going to get our presents today. And you know what? If before today I could have found those presents in the cupboard, I would have gone and looked for them. I went and had a look, guys. I went and looked for those presents in the cupboard, couldn't find them. Oh, well, so I wanted to sort of bring together my final draft thoughts on this draft day. As we find out later, as the draft begins at 8 p.m. in Las Vegas, 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be 1 a.m. over here in the UK, so a late night, and with a 4 a.m. work start as well. Fun. But my final draft thoughts. What are my final draft thoughts? Well, when I was thinking of what to do for this video, then I came up with 5 key questions. 5 key questions for my final draft thoughts, and here they are. What are the position groups for you to watch in the upcoming draft? The strongest ones. And I'll talk about those in a moment. What do the Pittsburgh Steelers need? What do they need? There's the key word, need. What would I like the Steelers to do? So my personal opinions. What do I think the Steelers will do? The million-dollar question. And what is the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate doing over the draft, 3 days of the NFL draft? Well, let's start with that first question. What are the strongest position groups in the current draft? Well, I think, if you're talking strongest position groups, you have to start with the edge rushers. Obviously, that's a position that the Steelers don't need as much. Might need some edge depth with the likes of Chris Allen or Tagovailoa Amosa or someone like that in the later rounds to bring in depth, or Amari Barno, someone like that. But you look at the top of the draft, it's stacked with good quality edge rushers like Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau. Those guys are well likely to go within that top 10. Likelihood that Aiden Hutchinson may well be taken top first, or even Trayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau also, maybe in that first 5. Certainly listening to him on the NFL show the other day, saying that he is the best player in the draft. Well, it doesn't hurt to have confidence, does it? What other positions are really strong? Well, the wide receiver class at this year's draft is immensely deep and immensely strong. Going from those top guys like Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Drake London, Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson, into those sort of second-tier guys like Alec Pierce, George Pickens, Christian Watson, Sky Moore, to your third guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, who would be a good fit for the Steelers. Actually, he's very much a gadget back. Can do a number of different things, very much like Deebo Samuel does for the 49ers. They're all, showing the depth of that wide receiver class. There could well be a good rush on wide receivers in the first 1 to 15 picks, as a number of teams there really do need wide receiver help. What other positions are deep? Well, cornerback. Cornerback is a very deep position in this draft. You're going from the top guy, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, who is a shutdown corner, to someone like Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU, Andrew Booth Jr., Kyra Lamb, Trent McDuffie, Roger McCreary. So many names to watch out for in this draft tonight. Who else are we looking at? Well, another group, the position of strength, is the defensive line. Something that could interest the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jordan Davis, the humongous beast out of Georgia Bulldogs, who ran that incredible 40 at the combine, despite the fact that he is absolutely massive. Obviously, the concerns over him only being a 2-down back. Not really there for me, because at the end of the day, he was only a 2-down back because Georgia didn't need to play him 3 downs. That's how good the Georgia defense was and the depth the Georgia defense had. On top of Jordan Davis, obviously, you've got DeMarvin Leal, you've got Fedarian Mathis, Perrion Winfrey, Travis Jones, Devontae Wyatt. There is a lot of depth and strength there. Haskell Garrett in the later rounds, Matt Henningsen in the later rounds. All strong players at that defensive line position. In addition to that, you've got the linebackers, some very strong linebackers in this draft. Devin Lloyd being the strongest amongst them. I think if he was there at 20, I would run to the podium and take him for Steelers. He is an absolutely awesome linebacker. Certainly, if you watched the NFL 360 the other day, you would have seen how amazing a person and player Devin Lloyd is. And Kobe Dean, you've got Chad Muma, Leo Chenal. There's just Christian Harris out of Bama. There is so much talent at that linebacker position. Offensive line, you've got a lot of very good offensive linemen, both at guard and tackle. People like Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M, Tyler Smith, Evan Neal, Charles Cross, Ekonwu. Neal and Ekonwu could well go within that top 5 as well. A safety class is also quite strong this year, with Kyle Hamilton projected to go inside the top 10. You've also got Lewis Seen from Georgia, who was the Senior Bowl MVP, Jaquan Brisker, a number of big talents there. So that's the first question ticked off, isn't it? What's the next question to think about is, what do the Pittsburgh Steelers really need? Obviously, there's a lot of rumors going around they're going to draft a quarterback at 20. What are they going to do? For me, there are more glaring needs on this team than quarterback. So, for example, we need wide receivers, but those could be easily met in the second or third rounds. We need a cornerback 1, something that we could pick up in that first round with the likes of Derek Stingley or Andrew Booth Jr. Andrew Booth Jr. could well drop to 20 and could be a decent pickup and a future CB1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Safety, strong safety. Obviously, we've got Killebrew and Norwood backing up the top 2 of Fitzpatrick and Edmonds, but Edmonds is only on a 1-year deal. Again, we're going to be in this position next off season where we're guessing at who our strong safety is going to be. There are some very talented strong safeties and some very talented safeties in this draft, in particular Jaquan Brisker, who would be a good second round pickup for the Pittsburgh Steelers and a rock solid strong safety. What else do they need? Defensive line help. Obviously, Cam Hayward will be 33 next year. Tyson Aluala will be 35 next year. And there's no guarantees over the return of Stephen Tuitt either. So the situation could be that we need that. If Jordan Davis were to fall to 20, he should be snapped up. Devontae Wyatt would be another good pickup. Travis Jones would be an excellent pick. DeMarvin Leal, all would be excellent picks for me at that position. Quarterback is a position of need, obviously, especially after the tragic events involving Dwayne Haskins the other day. Now, I'm not necessarily meaning taking one early like a Des Ridder and Malik Willis, someone like that, but maybe somebody even in the later rounds like a Chris Oladokun, Caleb Ellaby, Bailey Zappa. They could all be decent backup quarterbacks to Mitch Trubisky for me. An RB2, we could do with a running back 2, someone to back up Najee, a change of pace back, someone like Tyler Goodson out of Iowa, or even someone like Pierre Strong, or there's also Ty Chandler from Northern Carolina, again, who'll be available in those later rounds. They, for me, are the real positions of need. If I had to sort of level them, I'd say probably, cornerback 1, defensive line, that would be the strongest, then wide receiver, safety, quarterback, running back 2, in that order. Okay, so let's quickly flip back to those questions. They're my top 2 ticked off. Let's go to question 3. What would I like the Steelers to do? Well, you know what? If I was Pittsburgh Steelers GM and I was drafting this year, I would love to see one of these 4 players drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So first of all, I would love to see us get hold of someone like Chris Olave or Jordan Davis in that first round. I think they are absolutely awesome talents. Chris Olave is a wide receiver with big play potential, speed to stretch the field, and has even been likened to Jerry Rice in the way he's so smooth in his movements. Jordan Davis, I think, would solve our running game problems in one foul swoop. 2 other players I would have got strong desire to pick would be someone like Andrew Booth Jr. as a future cornerback 1. I think he would be an awesome pick, number 23 out of Clemson there, or even Jaquan Brisker if we traded back in that first round. Strong safety out of Penn State would be an awesome pickup and could sit and learn behind Minka and Terrell Edmonds, and then take Terrell Edmonds' job next year. So, what do I think the Steelers will do next in this draft today? What do I think they're going to do? You know what? That's the $1 million question. You know what? Last year, if you'd asked me, I would have said 24, Najee Harris. He's there. Take him. Steelers have invested a lot of time this year in looking at quarterbacks, haven't they? The whole scouting department, the top brass, even down to Art Rooney II, have gone to pro days, to visits, to combine, to watch these quarterbacks like Malik Willis, like Kenny Pickett, like Des Ridder, Sam Howell, Matt Corral, for example. So I think, for me, rightly or wrongly, if Willis was to drop to 20, I think they would take Willis. If Davis would drop to 20, I think they would take Davis. At this moment in time, do you know what? I genuinely do not have a clue what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do. Maybe it's a quarterback is a smokescreen. Maybe they are advertising the fact they want a quarterback. I honestly do not know at this stage what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do in this 2022 NFL draft. But I can't wait to see, guys. I cannot wait to watch and hear the line with the 20th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select, and whoever they select. Okay, so we've ticked off those first 4 questions. Let's go to question 5. What are the Syndicate doing over the draft weekend? Well, my colleague Mark will be streaming live on Thursday night and Friday night, giving live reaction to the picks. I will be following that up with analysis videos on the picks that we are making. And Saturday night, when Mark is sleeping in Australia, I will be doing the live stream covering the day 3 picks and talking about who we pick, what I think of them, and what they would bring to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you don't want to miss out on your top Steelers draft news on the best new Pittsburgh Steelers channel anywhere around the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, you need to hit that subscribe button, guys, and join the Syndicate. Join the biggest growing network on the internet, the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. Well, guys, that's my draft thoughts, my final draft thoughts. Some of you will be relieved. I'm relieved. It's time to move on. It's time to think about other things, but let's get this draft done. Let's find out who we're getting. I'm excited. I hope you all out there in Steeler Nation, drop me your comments below who you'd like to see us take at pick 20 or any other aspirations as to who you'd like in this NFL draft. Well, that's it for today. That's it from the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I've been your host, Pittsburgh Owen. Thanks for joining me. And here we go, Steelers.